So I got a Yamaha YFZ450. I forget the year of this one, but the plastics are a little faded. It's really dusty too. It's kind of been sitting in my carport for a few months now. But you can see there's a few sunspots, a little faded. But the year, 10th digit from the left would be a 2004 Yamaha YFZ450. And again, you can tell by the swing arm, it's got the groove, it's not the rounded, which started from 06 and above. 04 and 05 have the same swing arms with the groove in it. So this one has brand new tires, the rear and the front. This was kind of interesting just because the starter, the switch doesn't work, but it has a little switch up here, a little push start. So that's pretty interesting. You can see the safety switch is bypassed. It's got the Yoshimura exhaust, pretty much the same as my other one. What else does it have? It's only the slip-on too, so it's got pretty nice grips. Headlights are all there. I don't really see nothing missing. Overall, it looks pretty good. I'm not really seeing any leaks. Looks like there could be like weld right here where the clutch arm is, little actuator. Hopefully no problems there. It's got the brake light and the plastics there. That's pretty loose. Could just be the bolt up here. Yeah, it looks like the bolts are pretty loose up here. It's got the emergency brake block off plate. It just doesn't have the rest of the lines deleted. And it still has the lever here. So that's kind of worthless. But slide works. It's not stuck in the carb. Choke works. You can go ahead and check the oil. And again, you can't really tell on these bikes without running the quad for a little bit. And then it'll circulate through the motor and show up on the dipstick here. Let's see, what else? Yeah, pretty much the only thing really is kind of weird is just a starter here. Yes, see? So it does crank. It's just, this doesn't work. Keys on. Neutral light doesn't work. But as you can see, it does not crank with the button. Only cranks with the push start here. Which I'll try to figure that out. This is kind of twisted. Yeah, this needs to be like loosened and brought back forward a little bit. That's kind of a weird position. But at least it's got brand new tires, right? You know, it's got pretty nice Sun F1, so don't have to worry about that. I'm not really seeing any leaks on the motor. It's just a little bit dirty. But let's go ahead and take the seat cover or the seat off. It also doesn't latch. It's all broken underneath it right here. It's got a pretty big battery. It's a little oversized for the battery tray here. You can see all the wiring, whatever all that's about. Oh, that's loose. I can't really get to the air box without all this wiring being removed here, and that just pulled out from there, so I'm guessing that has to be in there for something. Don't really know, but I'm gonna take this out here just to check the air box or the air filter. It's got a foam one. Pretty big filter if you ask me. I don't know if that's stock or not, but foiled up pretty nicely. Everything seemed pretty tight. Besides the bolts here are pretty loose. But yeah, there's a bunch of wiring here. I'm not really sure where these would go. Here's a starter solenoid right here. Okay. So I believe this part here should go up to that switch up front, but it's been bypassed here. Yeah. Straight to power. I wonder if the actuator just went bad and he's straight, or the solenoid went bad, he went straight to the, just to get a switch. I don't know. 'Cause that's not a stock looking switch here. Yeah, this is all boogered up. I'm gonna pull these wires back on here, look at a wiring diagram, see how this would go. 'Cause that's not even a stock. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up though. Okay, yeah. Looks like he just got a different solenoid. These wires were cut from the harness. It's supposed to go straight to yeah, so I don't know what happened here, but I'm gonna have to order up a new solenoid, get new connections here. I'm gonna pull those out, cut these wires back, put the new connections there, and do it that way. But that's after I end up buying the solenoid, because I don't have an extra one laying around. I kind of just looked at my other quad, and it looks like he just kind of bypassed the solenoid right here. So I'm just gonna have to work with this right now. This hooks up somewhere. I'm gonna have to go back on the video to see which one it was hooked up to, because I kind of forget. But we're gonna see if we can get this running for now, because I'm gonna have to order parts before this one can be done. But yeah, back at the footage. This black wire went to the green one. I'm just gonna kind of stick it in there for now. At this point, I'm just trying to get it running. So I pretty much bought this quad from an older person. and they said they just had it sit for a while, and it ran, but it didn't run the best. I'm thinking maybe the carburetor is probably dirty, but it did run. So I'm just trying to get it back to running because I bought this, like I said, a couple months back, and I just haven't got to this quad yet. But here I am now, and I'm trying to deal with this so I can get that starter switch working, because I'm not liking the whole switch right here. That's just not ideal, I guess. So we got this hooked up. I guess that's just gonna be laying around until I get the solenoid. I'm gonna tighten this here. Just tighten this up. That's better. Make sure it's not touching anything with the frame. We're good. Everything's tight there. Let me get this airbox back on, because I want to see if it'll start back up. Because we might just end up having to take the carburetor off anyways. Just seeing how it runs. Okay. Filter cover is on. I'm just gonna see if this thing will crank over. It's got gas. I'm gonna choke it. Turn everything on, hit the switch. Turn the gas on. It's got that clear tube here, so gas is flowing to it. Let's see what happens here. Accelerator pump. Right. That cable came out of there, that ground cable. Stick that back in there. Alright, before I run it any longer, I am going to check the oil. Yeah, oil's full. It looks pretty new too, it's pretty clear. That's good there. Okay. It was running without the choke, but it was kind of idling a little low. I'm gonna check the coolant real fast. Make sure that's topped off. It's kind of behind here. You can kind of reach around and take it off with your hand. and then stick your finger inside of there. Make sure you got fluid. Yeah, we got fluid. It's blue, so we're good. Stick that back in there. It's a little tricky, but it's a lot easier than, it's a lot faster than taking the whole front plastic off, or a side piece off. Yeah. Let's see. It's already on there. You seen the lights work. I didn't see no smoke on startup. So everything is working. I'm gonna see if I can get it dialed in and warmed up a little bit so we can rev it. See what happens. So it actually runs pretty good. I feel like it needs to be ran a little bit. I don't really think the carburetor is dirty because it idles. And it pretty much revs out through the whole range of the throttle. And the Yoshimura is super loud. Just like my other quad, they're like the exact same thing. So this one runs actually pretty good. I'm trying to figure out also this neutral light. I don't even know if it's hooked up. So it's also connected with this switch down here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this connection up right here. Tighten up this little clamp that goes around this little nipple here. See if it does anything. Let me see what happens. I cleaned up that connection there. Cleaned up this part. Still no neutral light. I may be thinking either the bulb's out or the connection underneath it is not connected to the light. So I'm gonna go take this front bumper off, or the front plastic, look at the wiring, see what's up with that starter switch as well, see if the wiring's all good, all the way back to the solenoid there. But yeah, I'm going to take this off real quick. Ended up taking the whole harness out like the other quad and pretty much swapped the bulbs. You can't really tell if this one was out, but when I put power to the wires, it didn't want to light up. And then when I put power to this one, it lit up. So I swapped the bulbs out with my spare, and now the neutral light lights up. So I'm gonna put it back on the quad, see if we get neutral, see what happens. Still not getting the light. Let me see if I can backtrack through the wires with the voltmeter, see what I can get. Okay, trying to trace the wiring with the circuit here. I know the light bulb works. I plugged up the power. It does light up, but the blue wire goes all the way back to the switch down here, but then that also goes to the neutral switch here, the relay, and also ties into this yellow and black wire, which does hook up to the starter relay. And I feel like without the actual starter relay and this not being hooked up, this kind of interferes with the neutral light. So I feel like without that relay, I can't really do anything about the light. So that's just gonna have to wait. But like I said, this thing does run already. The oil's clean, coolant looks good. What else? I can't do anything about the switch here until I get the relay either. This kind of feeds a lot of stuff. When you're missing the actual starter relay, it kind of interferes with other things on the quad. So without that, I can't really move any further. But we did see it run. The carburetor seems good. I'm gonna start it back up. See if it goes through all the gears. See what happens here. Also, when I was taking off that plastic there, that bolt broke. So I'm gonna have to find another through bolt with a nut. So let me get this plastic semi on, and then I'm going to start it back up again, run it down the yard, see if it goes through all the gears. Well, goes to the second gear. I don't have enough room to really open her up, but so first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So all the gears are there. Everything's solid. Like I said, I can't move on unless I really have that starter relay or that solenoid. So after I get that ordered up, this one should be good to go. I'll probably clean up the plastics a little bit and like use a heat gun a little bit on these marks, the white marks. It should go back to the blue. It should look pretty good. I'll use conditioner and stuff and make it really pop. But other than that, this quad starts right up, no issues, no smoke, brand new tires, all the lights work, goes through all the gears, oil is clean and brand new, it's got fresh coolant, front and rear brakes work, no leaks, carburetor's not leaking, and yeah, steering's pretty tight. Nothing wrong there. So, also, this bearing up top of here is completely gone. It's there, but it's like not even existent. I'll have to order up another one of these. It's just those few things that really need worked on. It's just a starter, really. That solenoid. So I'm gonna go ahead and order that up. It's gonna be like a week. I should have the parts for that folder there, which is just the carrier bolts. They go through the top and bottom here. It's just missing on that quad there. So I'm ordering up the parts for this quad. I should have the parts for that one too. So next video should be this quad being completed, as well as this one. And And yeah, just stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I appreciate the feedback on the video previously. That one kind of went crazy, so I appreciate y'all. I do have more quads and stuff to work on, so thanks again for watching. This quad is just about done. Starts up, no issues. And yeah, oil up those parts up, should be good.